Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a poor man. He had nothing except a small hut, where he lived with his wife. The king of that land was known for his kindness and often helped the poor. At night, the king would disguise himself and walk through the streets of his kingdom to see the real condition of his people. One night, while wandering through the village, the king passed by the poor man's hut. Inside, he overheard the poor man's wife saying, "We don't have any money left to buy food. What will we do now?" The poor man replied, "Don't worry, our king is a kind man. Tomorrow, I will go to him for help. With this boat, we can arrange food and start some small work to earn our living." The next day, the poor man went to the palace. The king recognized him. He was the same man whose conversation he had overheard the previous night. Out of the compassion, the king gave him a chest full of gold coins. The man returned home happily. He and his wife celebrated and slept peacefully that night. But the next morning, they were shocked. The chest was empty. All the gold coins had vanished. Yet the doors and windows were still locked from the inside. The man went back to the king and told him everything. The king was surprised. However, he gave him another chest of gold coins. The poor man went home. He and his wife again slept happily that night. But the same thing again happened. The next morning, the chest was again empty, and once again, the doors and windows were locked from the inside. The poor man approached the king a third time and explained him the situation. The king was still kind and generous. He gave him another chest of gold coins. But this time, he decided to follow the poor man to find out the truth. The king hid behind a tree in the poor man's front yard and waited. Around the midnight, when the poor man and his wife were fast asleep, the king saw a strange shadow enter the house and come out carrying the chest of gold coins. The king was shocked. He drew his sword, stepped forward, and said in a loud voice, "Who are you, and why are you stealing this poor man's gold?" The shadow replied, "I am Destiny. This man is fated to remain poor all his life. It is the result of his past karma. No matter how much wealth he receives, it will always be taken away." The king was puzzled. He asked, "But why? What happened in his past life that he cannot be rich?" Destiny shook its head and said, "I cannot tell you this, but if you truly wish to know, then travel 60 kilometers from here to a village at the foot of the mountains. There lives the oldest man in that village. Only he can tell you the story of a rich man whose name was Marco, who once lived in that village." Saying this, the shadow disappeared with the chest of gold coins. Without wasting time, the king rode through the night and reached the village by morning. After asking around, he found the oldest man sitting under a banyan tree in a field. The king greeted him respectfully and said, "I have come here to hear the story of Marco." The old man's eyes grew serious. "Marco? Yes, I remember him. A long time ago, he was the richest man in this area. He used to lend money to farmers and the poor. But he was very greedy. He gave loans with the intention of robbing people. His terms and conditions were such that no poor farmer could meet them. Once, a poor farmer borrowed some money from Marco. Slowly, he repaid far more than what he had borrowed. But Marco claimed that it was only the interest and the principal amount was still unpaid. Then one year, a terrible drought struck the village. The farmer's crop failed and he could not pay the interest. Marco took possession of his land, his house, and everything he owned. The farmer was heartbroken and died soon after. He was consumed by grief. A few years later, Marco also fell seriously ill and died suddenly, perhaps as a result of his bad karma. Listening to this, the king understood the truth that Marco had been reborn as a poor man in his kingdom. The king returned and told the poor man everything. The man listened quietly, his eyes filled with sadness. From that day on, he began working as a laborer to earn an honest living. He started helping the hungry and the poor, giving whatever he could. Several months later, the king once again gave him a chest of gold coins to start a business. And this time, no shadow came to take his money. The story teaches us a simple but powerful truth. Whatever we do in our life comes back to us. Our actions, whether good or bad, create our destiny. If we plant seeds of kindness, honesty, and hard work, life will give us blessings in return. But if we choose greed, selfishness, or dishonesty, we will face the results of those actions sooner or later. The poor man's life changed only when he decided to change his actions. Instead of blaming fate, he started living honestly and helping others. And when his karma changed, his destiny changed too. This is the law of karma. It never fails. What is fate? Fate is nothing but the fruit of our karma. Good deeds bloom as flowers. Bad deeds grow as thorns. In the end, we must walk through the garden we ourselves have planted. Our past may decide where we stand today, but our present actions decide where we will be tomorrow. Destiny is not something written above in the sky. It is written by our own hands every single day through the choices we make and the deeds we do. So, if life is not going the way we want, we should not lose hope. From this very moment, we can begin to write a new story for ourselves. Because when we change our karma, we change our destiny. And when we change our destiny, we can create a life far greater than we ever dreamed. So friends, always remember, life will always give us back what we give to it. No one else holds the pen to write our destiny. It is in our hands. So, start planting seeds of kindness, honesty, and hard work. And one day, you will enjoy the fruits of your own good karma. I hope you like this story. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more such stories, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next video with a new story. Till then, stay blessed and take care.